It took one look and now you stare at me the same. It took one look but you play me like a game. I can see. It took one look and now you stare at me the same. It took one look but you play me like a game. Everything comes and goes in stages. Let the synapse rest over the world where you're hanging weightless on the precipice. I'm going out on a limb where the clouds start to thin, where my heart beats stupid grin. Out on a limb. Out on a limb. I'm out on a limb.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Random Championship Series Open Division ARAM tournament for today, Thursday, February the 12th. My name is Streetball, and I'll be solo casting tonight. We've got some great matches lined up for you guys tonight. Like I said, it is an Open Division ARAM tournament, which means all random, all mid. It's going to be Howling Abyss, and as you can see in Champ Select, we've already got all of the champions already selected. It's not much of a pick ban draft kind of thing. It's straight into this. And we are going to have looks like a reasonably balanced matchup, I guess, from the teams here. A couple 80 carries for the blue side, though, which is going to help them out a lot. The Xerath is also going to be really strong. But in return, they've got some good poke coming out on the purple side here, which, let me mention the teams, actually. Sorry, you guys. On the blue side, we have the Nido Kings. I'm not sure how it's actually technically pronounced back from Pokemon. I always called it Nido. So the Nido Kings over here on the blue side, and Oh Baby and the Triples on the purple team. So for Oh Baby and the Triples on the purple side, they have a little bit more of an AP-based comp. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Kennen going AD here. That's a possibility. You never know, because there is no AD carry really for Oh Baby and the triples. There's no AD carry there. There is two AD carries for the blue side, Nidokings, or Nidokings. I just said it the opposite way, whatever. But actually a cleanse taken there for Graves, so I don't mind the cleanse because there is going to be many stuns coming out, obviously, from Kennen there, as well as from Vigar. And it could be pretty dangerous if one of the AD carries gets locked up there. So Graves opting to go for the cleanse, the heal being taken up by Vadoom here, MF, opting to take the standard AD carry summoner spells, with just the regular heal and the flash, which is really good. Heal's normally pretty darn strong, but it's even better on the Howling Abyss, of course, because your entire team is just stacked up together, so you're always going to have a buddy to use that heal on. Of course, never underestimated is the 1 second of movement speed you get from the heal as well. You can use it offensively to chase if need be. But speaking of chase, we have some ghost action coming out from Garen here. So Garen opting for the Ghost Flash, the most movement-based summoner spell pairing, as you can flash and move real fast with that ghost. Garen's going to have a little bit of a tough time on Howling Abyss. It's not exactly his kind of best map, but he is going to be a nice front line for his AD carry, AP carry backline in that Xerath, MF, and Graves for the side of Nidokings. And on the purple side, Oh Baby and the triples are going to have really good poke with the zillion bombs coming out. You're obviously going to have Vigar being really annoying and harassing. And then kind of in the same boat as Garen is that Udyr, who's not going to exactly have the nicest time playing on this Howling Abyss map. It's not exactly his territory in the same way that it is not Garen's. They're usually better at a full sort of map, like the 5v5 Summoner's Rift map. Definitely opens up a little bit more, so they can run around the map and then make plays in a tank scenario. They're gonna have to wait until at least level 6 when they can kind of scale up a bit and then kind of have more of a team fight base, because really before level 6 it's kind of just like a giant lane phase. Even though it is a 5v5, it's just more like a 5v5 lane phase, where until it gets a little bit later in the game, then it becomes a little bit more of a team fight, and you'll see, I feel like you'll see Udyr and Garen possibly doing a little bit more. Garen probably more helpful in those team fights. Udyr, like I mentioned, is much better on a full ranged map. That's where Udyr really shines, and he can move around the map and be annoying. It'll be interesting to see how well Yorick uses his ghosts and things like that, because Yorick can be really annoying himself. But the problem is, like you'll see a lot of times, because you can't pick the team comps, is that there'll be either an AP stacked or an AD stacked team or something like that. And that's why I mentioned before, you'll possibly be seeing Kennen go AD because it is so AP stacked for Oh Baby and the triples. The side of Nidokings on the blue team can just pick up the Iron Locket of the Solari, or Locket of the Iron Solari, as well as a bunch of other magic resistance, and then kind of negate all of the damage coming out from the purple side. And let me switch up these names here, because these are some old names, and we want to get some new names in here. I believe the purple side, like I mentioned, is Oh Baby the triples. I had that nice copy and pasted, so that one's ready to go, but I'm going to have to type in this one, and that's going to be rough. We got Nidokings on this side, the Nidokings in all caps, like they do. And yay, it actually loaded up without crashing this time, so shout out to Riot for making patch 5.3 slightly better than patch 5.2, because patch 5.2 would crash my computer when I tried to stream these games from the lobby and spectate things like that. And some nice summoner icons coming out. Fnatic supporter and a Cloud9 supporter over here. Got Coast from Season 3. Actually, I think were they... Yeah, they were Coast in Season 3. Or were they GGU in Season 3? I don't even remember at this point. But back in the day, Coast, GGU, whatever they were, shout out to them. And a couple of high-ranked players here as well. We got some diamonds for the side of Oh Baby and the triples. Not sure which one of these guys is Oh Baby and which one is the triples, but I don't know. And I guess there's 4 triples? I don't know exactly how that works out. But regardless, while we're in the loading screen here real quick, I want to let you guys all know that you can go over to randomcs.com. That is our website. We are the Random Championship Series. We host a bunch of tournaments and giveaways and all those kind of wonderful things. We've got cosplayers and artists and all that cool stuff. You can check us out on Facebook, ari.cs, Ari like the champion, so that's facebook.com/ari.cs, AHRI.cs. You can check us out on Twitter at esportsrcs, twitter.com/esportsrcs. And check us out, of course, if you're watching this right now, you're probably watching it on twitch.tv/Random Championship Series, so give us a follow if you like what you're seeing, so you can make sure you're aware when all of our next tournaments and giveaways are coming up, because we do these fairly often. We are having a Valentine's Day 1v1 tournament tomorrow night. It starts at the same time as this tournament did tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 Central, and 8 Eastern. Is going to be on twitch.tv/Random Championship Series, so we hope to see you guys all there. As we jump into this game, as I mentioned before, on the blue side we have Nidokings, and on the purple side we have Oh Baby and the Triples. As everybody's kind of just stalled out right now, I think I have some sort of delay here because normally you see people moving. As you can see, it says 19 minutes and 10 seconds into the game, which is definitely not true. We'll wait until, there we go, now everything's starting. Everybody hits level 3 and gets their gold. Now, as we mentioned in a lot of these 1v1 or not these 1v1s, excuse me, got me thinking about tomorrow. But in the Howling Abyss ARAM tournaments here, is whichever team takes the bush first usually gets a nice little early start there. Of course, depending on the comps and things like that, Udyr should be able to reach the bush probably first because he's pretty darn fast, as you can see, pulling ahead of his team. And it looks like Nidokings is actually opting to just kind of give up bush control. They were kind of worried, but MF, no issues in the front there. MF is not willing to give up bush control. And you can see how much mana Udyr wasted to try and get that bush control, as I said like 8 times in the past 5 seconds. Bush control, say it again. Garen getting that bush control as he jumps in the front right there, but KT Sora was definitely willing to give up all that mana to try and get up there to the front and maybe get an early gank. As you can see, they have retreated underneath their own turret for right now. MF being pretty ballsy up in the front. She used her Q and then popped her W and then popped her E on top of Udyr right there to make him slow, and probably traded a little bit more than Udyr would have liked onto him, but he is going to regen decently right now. Udyr opting to pick up boots and then straight health and magic resistance right now, which is going to be decent, but there is a lot of AD coming out from, of course, MF and Graves right there, so even though that is a good start, I don't know, I probably would have liked to see him pick up a cloth armor instead of the null magic mantle, to be honest, and then maybe he could have picked up something else, I don't know exactly, but he does have a lot of pots, so who knows. But to be honest, I think that he's going to be taking more AD damage than he is AP right now. I think that even though Xerath is going to be doing a lot of nice poking, he's actually Xerath. I like Xerath's build. He's opted for pretty much straight sustain, so he's just going to be opting to stick with the poke game the entire time. MF really going for straight damage with the pickaxe, or a little bit more of a safety build coming from Graves with the second Dorans and the boots, with 4 pots coming out on top of that. But like I was saying, I think that they're probably going to be taking purple side, Oh Baby and the triples, that is. They're going to be taking more AD damage than they are AP, at least for right now. But Xerath getting some good poke damage, trying to prove me wrong right now. Here comes Zilean trying to get some bombs laying down there. He gets one on Graves. The Graves should be able to heal and lifesteal that back up. If there isn't... Oh, MF actually getting out of position. The Event Horizon is going to catch her. They're going to go all in on this. Are they? No, they're not going to go all in. They're going to back out, actually. They're going to just trade back. Wow, I really thought they were just going to go ham and try and get that kill right there. Not even a flash or a heal burned for MF, even though she was caught out in that Event Horizon. And that could have been really dangerous. It could have spelt the end and first blood for the side of Oh Baby and the triples. They pull themselves back in this game because they're getting zoned out right now, which is what you would expect. You kind of have to wait against a team that has 280 carries and a long-range poke monster like Xerath. You kind of just have to wait for a little bit and then kind of just wait until, like we mentioned in a million matches before, wait until you hit level 6, and then you can kind of jump back in. But Vigar taking a ton of damage right there. Oh, almost going down to the last Xerath poke, but he stays alive, chugs on some pots right there, eats a biscuit. And he's going to be content to just stand in the back lines for right now. Kennen is really the only one who's actually still at pretty much full health. He's been playing super safe, just trying to farm as much as possible, which is exactly what I'd be doing right now. Is don't try and trade too much, just try and make sure you're last hitting properly underneath the turret, and try and wave clear as much as possible, and just wait until your team actually reaches level 6, or at least close to it, because that's when they should be able to try and make something happen, even though their level 6 isn't that great, to be honest. Like Udyr's level 6 isn't anything. Zilean's level 6 is going to be nice so you can res one of his tanks going in, like probably put that on the Udyr because Udyr has no real way to get out there. You can also kind of do the same thing with the double res with Yorick there, which would be kind of cool, the double zombie, whatever you want to call it there, where you bring them back to life with Zilean's ultimate as well as Yorick's ultimate in case they go down, something like that. Or you can use it on the enemy rather so you can get, not the double ultimate, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Delirious at this point. But Graves actually picking up a ton of CS right now, which is what I like to see. As I was mentioning with the Kennen before, that's what I'd be doing, is I'd just be trying to CS. I always mention how CS is really underrated on Howling Abyss because you get so much money just from kind of being alive, basically. Howling Abyss is kind of an extended, fast-paced game. where if you, of course, you start out at level 3 and you get a bunch more money and things than you normally get on Summoner's Rift because everyone is stuck in the same lane. There's the flash being burned, but the flash burned by Udyr as well. First blood is going to go into Zillion, actually. Oh my goodness, crazy trade there, over commitment from KT Soro, and that's what I thought they were going to do before. Unfortunately, they do it right now, and that's going to be an early 2-0 for the side of Nidokings. And they're going to try and take this down this first turret, and they should be fine with it. Kennen trying to do a little bit of wave clear right now. They should be able to take this turret down with these 2 AD carries. Graves should be getting damage on the turret right now. Oh, MF might go down. Yeah, MF was tanking the turret. Graves should have been up there doing damage to that turret. MF would have not died if there was more damage onto the turret. As an AD carry, you have to be the one doing damage to the turret as well, and that has to be Graves' part. Specifically, since he's the one with the real sustain build here. There's the level 6 we were talking about. Kennen going in there. He might be able to get out just in time. Eventurize and knocking down, or trapping Xerath as well as Garen in the back. Garen is going to go down, and they actually stay alive here. That's a 3-for-0 trade, all starting from the fact that MF went down because they were not killing that turret fast enough, and I really feel like that was because Ruby Cross right there on Graves with his full defense kind of sustain build. He's got 2 Dorans and a bunch of pots. He needs to be right up in there playing. He even had his flash up still. Unfortunately, MF was the one who was playing aggressive like she had the sustain build, and really they need to be more communicative, if that's a word, with their team, or just not play as aggressive. Oh, there's the ultimate by Warwick, though. The ultimates still are up for the side of Nidokings. All the ultimates were usually burned for Oh Baby at triple. Actually, no, not all the ultimates. Only Kennen actually uses ultimate. Wow, that was actually all caused by Kennen ultimate, so really good job by Kennen to know when to use it, but that was the main ultimate that they wanted. Good speed up by Zillion, but that's going to be a dead max second there. Vicar going down with a nice snipe from Xerath, using his ultimate to pick up the kill in the back line right there. And actually, like I was mentioning before, I thought there was more ultimates used for the side of Oh Baby in the triples, but really it was only the Kennen ultimate, and Kennen's ultimate is over half done the cooldown. So they should be able to jump back in here and make those ultimates work for them again. Oh, wow, the flash forward, and that's a snipe again from Xerath, this time ultimate down, uses the flash to get that Q and kills the low health Udyr in the back line. And like I was saying in Champ Select, Udyr does not have the best time on Howling Abyss like this. There's the Eventurizer meeting it early, he gets good trade damage, tanking the turret for the time being, taking 2 shots. Black Frost possibly coming in, but Vigar is so weak right now. Vigar opting. Did he like? I think Vigar is trying to build a DFG and forgot that it's out of the game now, because those are the 2 kind of items. Those are the 2 halves of the DFG, is the Needlessly Large Rod and the Fiendish Codex right there. I'm not sure exactly what he's building without that, because that goes into DFG. So I don't know. Maybe he forgot that it's not in the game anymore. That usually would be a good item on Vigar, but it's not there. So there's the Eventurizing again, and he is trying to get some damage onto Warwick, but Warwick is actually pretty darn tanky, as I mentioned before. Pretty much one of the best things to do against a heavy AP team. Oh, actually, the MF could have lined that up a little bit better, but oh, wow! That was really weird. Zillion trying to get a bomb really overcommits there, but wow, MF taking a lot of turret damage, as well as, of course, the Zillion bomb damage that he died to get in. But it was really not a good trade overall. MF should be able to kind of lifesteal that back up over time. Wow, actually Yorick walking up close there, gets the Ignite down. He should be able to take down MF. Yes, he does. So trade's 1 for 1 right there. I guess that's not too bad, considering he'll be able to come back from base fast enough. Are they going to be able to get Warwick? Yes, the turret damage does get him, and the Kennen ultimate at the perfect time again. Black Frost ultimates have been on point so far this game. KT Soro chasing down Garen. See if he can make the play. He has no mana, no health though, and Xerath might go down. There's the Event Horizon. Misses both of them. Kennen just straight auto-attacking. There's the health gain, but it doesn't matter. Kennen does more than enough damage. And Kennen says, screw AD, I'm going straight AP. And there's the Zillion ult on him, so he can definitely die here, and we'll just regen more health. That's exactly what you want to do, is force the death, because you'll get more health back than you had beforehand. Smart play by Black Frost. Possibly a wasted ultimate by Log the Tree, but I think that Log the Tree was basically just like, here, do whatever you want, try and dive, do whatever you want. It'll be back up quick enough. It's almost a quarter of the way back up. Look at Zillion's ultimate timer so far. It's almost a quarter done, because of course, the cooldown reduction that's built into his kit. Every time I believe it's his W that he presses, it chunks down his cooldowns by about 10 seconds or so, which is going to be really good. But great Xerath ult, and they're splitting the entire team up. Snipes Vigar in the back line, but that did so much AoE damage to the entire team of Oh Baby in the triples. Great play by All About That Ace. Hey, I guess shout out to, what's her name? Megan Trainer, whatever, I think that's her name. Yeah, shout out to All About That Ace there with the snipe. And he actually had the Clarity, opted for the Clarity summoner spell, so I like that. Because of course, this is pretty much an extended laning phase. Xerath really just wants to spam spells all day long. Oh wow, another snipe and that is going to be another kill. 6 in total for All About That Ace. Ruby Cross really in danger right now, and so is RS Maybe Lol. Wow, that was actually just a bait pretty much. MF picks up a kill on Zillion, Xerath picks up a kill on Kennen, and a huge bait coming out for the blue side Nidokings, and they are just really in control of this game right now, which their comp is a little bit better based on the amount of 80 carries and poke, but they're still playing this so well. There's the Event Horizon coming out from Vigar, and that's going to keep him alive for now. Oh, this snipes from, I was going to say, the snipes from Xerath, how long? And it is not going to be enough to take down Vigar in the back line. Zillion trying to get some damage down with his bombs. Oh, there's the flash forward from KT Soro. I don't know about that. The alt forward from what's his name there, Warwick. Graves going down there with another beautiful Kennen ultimate, and they're going to kill Graves. Great job by Vigar picking up the kill. It's going to stack that AP for him a little bit longer. Kennen has really been the savior for the side of Oh Baby in the triples so far. His ultimates have just been really game changers. Well, not game changers because they're still losing, unfortunately, but team fight changers, as he's popped his ult at exactly the right time, and he's finished off that Zhonya's Hourglass now, so he can even do it more kind of ballsy ultimates and jump in and know that he's got that 2.5 seconds of Zhonya's to keep himself safe, but he's getting huge trade damage from Xerath, but Xerath is going to go down here, I think. But Xerath should have a bunch of money to spend with all those kills and get some nice items. MF going down as well. Vigar picking up more free kills. Vigar's not the one you want to get those kills on. Ow! Flash forward actually by Garen, but it's going to be MF that picks up the kill from beyond the grave. Whoa, there's the shutdown. Garen laying down the sword onto Udyr's head. That's a nice big shutdown, and they've got about 15 seconds or so to try and make something happen with the Event Horizon. It's going to stall them out for a bit longer. Udyr trying to make things happen with those ghosts, but they need to be careful right now. They're just straight disengage. I don't know why they turned back for that trade damage. Actually, Kennen going straight in there, turning into lightning, trying to get away. Actually keeps himself alive. Really ballsy play by Black Frost to go in there and grab the HP, deny the HP from Nidoking, because that even though grabbing HP is important, denying it from the enemy is just as important, I feel. So really smart play by Black Frost to get in there and then get out with his little lightning rush. And they've got a Sanguine Blade actually finished for Graves. So Graves, that'll actually work really well. Sanguine Blade really works well with Graves as a passive, because of course the longer Graves stays in battle and the more auto attacks he gets off and stuff, the more, of course, the Sanguine Blade is going to stack the lifesteal as well as attack damage, and then his passive is going to stack the armor and magic resist. So the longer the extended team fight is, the more Graves is going to just stack up. So if Graves can fight for a little bit of a sustained battle, he's going to be really, really strong with those two kind of stacking, kind of synergizing, one being the item and one being the passive. And Blackrock's ult is back up, and he's got his Zhonya's back up at this point. He needs to pop it soon. No, he's got the ult. He's got, no, I don't think he should have used the Zhonya's there. He's going to go down. Oh, okay, good, just in time. That was really ballsy of Black Frost, to be honest. I was really scared at that point. I feel like he should have just gone straight in there and died, and then would have saved his Zhonya's for later, but it works out perfectly. RS Maybe Lol trying to protect him, but there's the Xerath ult being popped. Huge damage. They're going to try and get this to work. Xerath is going to be a one-man army. Oh, he gets the stun onto Udyr. Can he make this work? Like I said before, going back and buying those items is really working out nice for him. Gets the health. Udyr is going to try and juke around Xerath. Gets in, gets the stun. Here comes Kennen. Can they make this work? He gets the stun on Udyr. Can Kennen do enough damage right now? He trades a bit. He's got one little mark on him. He's got one mark of the storm, and they're going to just opt to take the turret here. No, Black Frost is going to go ham. He's going to go ham. He's going to get the kill. Oh, no. All about that ace. A little bit of a misplay right there, and Black Frost taking control of this game with a little bit of help from KT Soro. They get the turret. And they need to be careful right now. Even though Garen can't really stop them, Graves can do a bunch of damage right now. He's got that BF sword on top of that Sanguine Blade. If he can just keep chasing him, he's going to take so much, or so little damage rather, with that Zhonya's. Oh my goodness, Garen just barely with enough health. Udyr goes down. MF picking up the kill. MF trading a lot of damage with that Q right now. That Infinity Edge is huge. Graves picking up the kill on Kennen. And this is what I was afraid of, is that them dying after that initial push. Flashes forward the Event Horizon, stopping Graves as well as Warwick. Warwick taking the Zillion bomb right now, but he does not care. They're more than happy to trade some damage for that inhibitor. And now they're just going to wait for Xerath to come up here. I think they should just wait and try and 5v5. MF does not want to die here. They need to be very careful. Vigar is going to trade a bunch of damage, and that is going to be a dead MF. Oh, unless they can land. Oh, the snipes. Oh, no. Xerath rushes a bit. I think he should have just calmed down for a second and placed them a little bit more perfect. Instead, he was kind of just going all around. But that's what happens when you see a bunch of people with low health. Oh, and good job by Zillion putting the ultimate on Vigar. Vigar staying alive, even though he got sniped there. Kennen coming in. He does have his ultimate still. There it is. Pops the ultimate. He's going in. And this is unfortunately a poorly played team fight. Oh, no. They spread apart so much, and the ultimate from Kennen did not go well. And really, the blue side right now, the side of Nidokings, is ahead. And oh, Graves might be able to. Okay, no, yep, they're good. Warwick is going to take more than, or not going to have more than enough tankiness rather, and actually Warwick opting for the Chalice. That's kind of a weird build, but hey, more power to you there. They're winning this game. Xerath with another snipe right there. These guys are going crazy. KT Soro stuck in the back line. So is Max second. Whoa, collateral damage taken down. Going hunting. Graves is going to add a new pelt to his collection. Need like some sort of a big game hunter Graves or something like that. He's got like a new deer skin on his back or something. Who knows? But okay, the Event Horizon goes down. MF Ultimate taking down Vigar, and this should be the end here. Black Frost is going to get CC'd and chunked down, and this will be the end. They're going to go pick up some more kills here, and this should be a dead Zillion. Or the Xerath Ultimate, one more, nope! That's the game though. Nexus going down, and that is going to be Nidokings picking up the win and moving on into the next round. Thank you guys very much for watching. My name is Streetbull. You can find me on Twitter at Streetbull, on youtube.com/Streetbull, the word street, the word bowl. And we'll be moving on into our next round of the RCS ARAM tournament. In just a second, we'll be setting up the next lobby. We'll be right back.
You used to think I was someone special till you knew my name. Open the doors to invade my castle. Don't you feel it strange? I'm going out on a limb where the clouds start to thin. Where in my heart like a stupid grin. Out on a limb. Out on a limb. rise to victory. You will rise to victory. The silence breaking into colors, into the sky and emerald waters. The silence breaking into colors, for miles and miles and miles. We're floating through it all, through it all, floating through it all, floating through it all.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Random Championship Series Open Division ARAM tournament for today, Thursday, February the 12th. We are actually in our semi-finals right now between two teams. On the blue side, a very familiar team, All Mid, All Modes, who's played a bunch of our tournaments before, and judging by their name, you can tell that they are loving the ARAM tournaments that we host nowadays. All Mid, All Modes on the blue side, and the Reapers on the purple side. So it actually looks like fairly even comps, actually. They're reasonably well-rounded for either side. Each side has 180 carry. Actually, no, sorry, 280 carries. Sorry, I didn't see the Urgot there, actually. So it is a little bit tipped in the side of All Mid, All Mode's favor in terms of the 80 carry kind of handout, I guess you could say. But they do have, of course, a couple bruisers in the Kha'Zix as well as Warwick right there, and then some support in a giant tank in Ghost Freak on Leona. And then we have Rengar, and I guess a couple assassins. You can kind of consider Nocturne an assassin, more of like a fighter assassin, as well as Rengar there. So they're not going to have the best time on this map. It's going to be more up to Azir, Swain, and Draven to kind of wave clear and keep them in the game. Once Nocturne hits level 6, it'll be a little bit easier for him. Same thing with Rengar. It'll be easier for them to make an impact in the game. Once it is level 6 and it's more of teamfight oriented, when it's early lane phase, it'll be hard for them. That's usually the case on ARAM, because it is, like I always mention, before level 6, and really for a little while after, it's kind of just like an extended lane phase where it's a 5v5 lane, and one of the reasons that most of these people are usually, or most of these champions rather, are usually played in the jungle is because they're not that great in lane. Like Kha'Zix is alright in lane if you build him for like a lane Kha'Zix, like an assassin type Kha'Zix, but he's usually better in the jungle, same with Warwick, and then of course Nocturne and Rengar of course are junglers themselves, so not the best early. That's why they're usually playing the jungle, or one of the reasons at least. There's a million reasons why, not just because of that. But of course, Azir, Swain, and Draven going to be a little bit better in lane than their buddies Nocturne and Rengar, and they'll have to kind of hold down the fort until they can reach that point when they can make a difference on the team. And actually, it looks like Warwick has opted to take Clarity, and so has Urgot, so they're going to have 2 Clarities on their team, and that's really going to allow both Graves and Urgot, and even Kha'Zix to an extent, because Kha'Zix will probably upgrade his missiles, you never know. If on an ARAM, it really could be advantageous to level up the missiles just for the early poke and things like that. We'll see what Rare Candy decides to do. But like I was mentioning, they're going to have 2 Clarities, which is going to be really strong for all the mana users on the side of All Mid, All Modes. They'll be able to just spam that all day long, and Clarity does, of course, affect everybody on your team, unlike Heal, where it's only one other person that it heals. Clarity is going to be giving mana back to everybody, and they take 2 heals as well, Leona opting to go for the Exhaust and Heal instead of any sort of Flash. So it's alright, I don't mind that, because she has the gap close of her E. She's got her Zenith Blade to jump into the fight with, as well as, of course, her ultimate to kind of slow people or stun people down. Or stun people or slow people, said. in order to catch up to them with that Zenith Blade. I still think a flash would probably be a better idea, but the exhaust as well as the heal is not going to be bad whatsoever. The exhaust is going to be really good for when, say, Nocturne or Rengar, depending on how they're built, because they might just go straight tank because they are kind of the designated tanks for their team. But those are two, like I mentioned before, assassins that could be really kind of stifled by an exhaust coming out from Leona. And Warwick opted for the exhaust as well. That might also just be used to kind of slow people down. You could use the exhaust on Draven, he'll do no damage, and he'll be really hard pressed to catch his axes when he's slowed. He doesn't catch his axes, he doesn't have nearly enough damage, and can get jumped on in those fights. So we'll see what those exhausts are specifically used for. But a barrier coming out from Kha'Zix, so he's going to kind of avoid that burst damage when he jumps in. Because Kha'Zix inevitably, in the same way that I said Nocturne and Rengar, they're going to kind of have to wait for a while in order to jump in and get kills safely, because it's going to be very dangerous for them as melee assassins like that. But as we get into the delay right here, I want to remind you all, let me actually switch over to the other, there we go, and actually, let me change these names here, unfortunately. These names are, of course, the old names of the other teams we had in the last game. So on the, this is the blue side, we have all mid, all modes, and then on the purple side, we have the Reapers. And actually, I'm pretty sure I had the names mixed up last time because unfortunately the teams were on the wrong side in Champion Select. So it was actually the last game we casted. It was actually Oh Baby and the Triples that advanced, and they're in the semifinals as well right now on the opposite side of the bracket, which the game has not started yet because there's still a quarterfinal game being played. But just to kind of clarify that, the team names were swapped in that last game, so my apologies to both teams and everybody watching, but it was Oh Baby and the Triples that actually won that game and advanced on into the quarterfinals. But we are in the semifinals right now. So anyways, go back to my plugs as I kind of made a kind of note there so we all know what was going on. But we are the Random Championship Series. Our website is randomcs.com. Our Facebook is ari.cs, ari like the champion.cs, so facebook.com/ari.cs. You can sign up for our RCS newsletter. You can do it on our site by scrolling to the bottom. You'll see it on the very bottom there. Click our RCS newsletter. You can also sign up on our Facebook page, which once again is ari.cs. Click the newsletter button on the bottom left-hand side there. You see on the left-hand side of the screen. Just scroll down a bit and you'll see that, and it will keep you up to date on all our upcoming events and giveaways and things like that so you don't miss anything. And we also, once again, I want to remind you all, have our Valentine's 1v1 tournament tomorrow night starting at 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. So please come out to twitch.tv/Random Championship Series and watch that. Support all the players and casters and the organization because it's going to be super fun. And we're going to have some cool prizes and things like that. So getting into this game, on the blue side we have all mid, all modes, and on the purple side we have the Reapers in our semi-final game in the Random Championship Series Open Division ARAM tournament for today, Thursday, Friday the 12th. Or Thursday, Friday the 12th. Thursday, Friday the 12th. That doesn't make any sense. Thursday, February the 12th. Excuse me. My brain's kind of breaking. I've been talking a lot by myself right now. Just before I started this tournament, I casted a game for my YouTube page, which is probably a bad idea, because now I've been going on for a while solo casting, and I'm already starting to kind of feel the effects in my brain as it just melts. But What a Wolf is going to get some great poke damage. As I mention every game, whoever gets that bush advantage early usually gets a decent little trade, if not a pick early, but the Reapers played it safe and kind of went in just to kind of snoop around as opposed to going in and straight up face checking and having to possibly burn some summoner spells for that. Azir trying to get some poke down, but unfortunately Graves trades back damage and doesn't take any on his own, so kind of an ill-advised trade there from Azir, unfortunately. And this is kind of what I imagined to see before. Usually kind of the case is like whoever has the most AD carries will kind of push in early. Now it can kind of be offset by AP carries and things like that, which they have in Swain and Azir, but I still feel like Graves... Oh my goodness, wow, they're really fighting early. I feel like Graves and Urgot are really just going to be the ones pushing the waves and pushing the enemies back here in this lane, providing blue side with kind of the early advantage and early kind of lane dominance in this setup right now. Just farming under turret right now is the purple side, the Reapers, trying to keep themselves not too low on HP, because if they do get too low on HP, once they actually reach a point where they can engage on all mid, all modes, they'll be too low on HP and possibly mana to actually make it viable at that point. So you need to be really careful about taking this unnecessary trade damage early. Just focus on CSing like I mentioned in the last game, which Kennen was doing very well. But unfortunately, Grim Reaper taking a lot of damage, and it's just really, it's not going to work out well. Good damage by the trade axes right there, but overall there's just so much more damage coming out from all mid, all modes, and the side of the Reapers just don't want to do these trades early. They need to just wait and be patient, just kind of give up whatever advantage they can early, and just be super, super patient right now. see, like, Swain and Rengar are trying to move up and get position, but they're just taking way too much unnecessary damage right now. Everybody on all mid on modes is pretty much full HP, with the exception of Urgot, who's only like at 90% HP, which will be a big deal. They're just getting so much good damage anytime the side of the Reapers come in. You'll see Draven get some good trade damage on Urgot right there, but that's about the extent of what they've gotten so far. They've gotten about 2 Draven axes on Urgot when their entire team has been chunked down repeatedly, just over and over again. I feel like Azir, yeah, there we go, finally some good pokes from Azir. I was going to say, I feel like Azir, I feel like Error 504 possibly isn't the best Azir, possibly new to that champion, like I mentioned, in every ARAM tournament. Of course, because it is random, people are going to be playing a bunch of different champions that they are not used to playing, so the kind of combos coming up from Azir's kit not as strong as they would be from a normal Azir player, I guess you could say, but he's learning it now. As we saw in the very beginning, it didn't really work out properly, but now they seem to be doing a little bit better, getting a bit more poke damage, but the problem is he's so low on mana at this point. Is it actually going to do anything? There's some good damage coming out. Graves trading some damage with a turret, which is not what you want to do. You want to be very careful and make sure your minion wave is coming in. And they can just slowly push this in. Heal being popped by Azir there. And actually, this is one of those situations where I feel like they should have been popping their heals as they were kind of just getting chunked down. Because at this point, they're so low that the heal, oh my goodness, they're going in on this. This is actually probably a bad idea. It's going to be first blood onto Nocturne. Like I was saying, they have to be patient, because by the time they actually can go in there, super aggressive flash ignite from Ayo Snoopy. But it was just fruitless, unfortunately, because their team didn't even have to burn the flash from Graves. And that dot damage is going to be enough. There's the flash forward, actually, from Urgot just to secure the kill, to make sure Rengar goes down, because I don't know if it would have been enough. It did have a little bit ticking, but who knows. Oh, and the engage actually under the turret. There's a flash away by Grim Reaper, but will that be enough damage? No, a sliver of health, actually. But they dive the turret and then just back out, and they're still fine, which just shows how in control they are right now. Able to turret dive and then back out safely after burning the flash from Draven. And actually, I didn't see this before, but Draven opted to take Ignite, which I really don't like. I think that's a bad idea. There's no real reason to take Ignite. If you're close enough to Ignite somebody, you're probably too close to them to begin with, especially when you're against a Kha'Zix and a Warwick and a Leona and things like that. I just feel like Draven really could have benefited more from taking a heal, a barrier, a clarity, an exhaust, anything other than the Ignite. I really feel like that was a bit of an oversight on Garen, on Draven's part. So many champion names, my brain is melting, but look at all the low HP bars for the side of the Reapers. Black Reaper's the only one with full HP, and that's because he's died already and he's come back. And speaking of dying and coming back, Nocturne's already done that, and he's already back at about 1/3 HP. This could be, oh no, good job disengaging with the axe there from Draven, using his E to knock them away. Make sure he doesn't get jumped on, but this could spell the end. They're just going to slowly push in this turret, which I really like. Oh my goodness, there's the double kill from Graves, the kill from Urgot as well. Warwick goes in with the ultimate, and this is going to be a clean sweep. There's the ultimate from Urgot. A clean ace coming out. Beautiful coordination from all mid, all modes. Absolute massacre under the turret. They get the clean ace right there, and then they should be able to execute. Will they get the execute? Let's see. Execute 1. Let's see if we can get execute 2. No, it's onto the minion, so they'll only get 1 execute. What is a wolf? It's going to be only 1. Who gets the needed execute out there? Oh my goodness, Warwick's just trying to get as much damage as he can on the turret. And here's the thing, is they should all probably just like die as a team, to be honest, when they do that. Because the thing is they'll be back at low HP. Who knows? Actually, no, you know what? Graves has the Vampiric Scepter, so he'll be able to sustain up. So I actually like that idea to stay alive for right now. If you got the sustain, then let's try and stay alive. A rare candy goes down. Grim Reaper can get the kill, and that's going to be a nice adoration stack there onto Draven. Draven already had finished off the Sanguine Blade, which is going to be really, really strong for him. It's going to really keep him alive, because that's one of the things that they need right now, is he needs to just sustain up, because they're getting poked down so hard. They need some way to keep their HP a little bit higher, so that when they do actually decide to fight, they're in a better position, because that fight before, that turret dive, that clean sweep, that 5-man, that ace right there underneath the turret was all made possible because of how low on HP everybody on the Reapers were. This could be dangerous. There's the engage from Leona, and that is Leona actually picking up the kill. The Draven Blade does not land. Rengar uses the ultimate and dashes in, but this might be, I was going to say, it's going to be a counter jump on him. Black Reaper just felt like he had to use it. He'd use his ultimate, and there's a jump from Kha'Zix. The Azir turret the passive there is going to pay dividends for them, but Leona's just going ham. Leona's going to die here to the turret, but they don't care. They're going to get the kills and then take down the Azir turret after this. Urgot actually just wants to get, I was going to say, Urgot might get executed right there, but I think it would have given a kill over to the side of the Reaper, so he needs to be super careful right now. And try and possibly get some turret aggro without getting hit by the enemy, but no, he's in a dangerous place right now. He needs to be safe. And Warwick taking some damage from that Swain ultimate. Very pretty looking bird right there. Did they update that Swain ultimate, or is that her skin or something like that? I don't even know, but that looked very pretty looking bird. I think it might just be my my new computer. And I'm finally seeing the way the game's supposed to be, but here's the Nocturne ultimate going in, and he is locked down immediately by the trade Warwick ultimate, and they're going to try and disengage off of this. Swain ultimate doing a lot of damage, but he has no mana left, and he's going to be out of this in a second right in the front of the battle. Azir trying to do some damage from the back. Here comes Kha'Zix, and he gets the reset, and there's the ultimate from Azir coming out, and it knocks them back, but unfortunately Azir goes down without blowing his heal or flash. Those are still off cooldown, and he could have used either one of those. Good ultimate, but unfortunately it was not enough to keep his team alive. And as we can see from the CS right there, Draven and Azir are the only two members of the Reapers that are really getting that gold, really. Because everybody else, they're not getting kills. So pretty much Draven and Azir are the only ones that are making any money right now. They're trying to turn that into items, but I don't know if it's going to be enough for the side of the Reapers. All mid, all modes, definitely spreading out the gold a bit more, even though, of course, their 280 carries are definitely getting the most CS. There's kills on pretty much everybody. Kha'Zix has 3, there's 2 kills and 10 assists on Warwick, and Leona even picked up a kill of her own there. There's the ultimate she's going to engage on. There's the Zenith Blade, the flash away from Swain, and he's got enough mana right now, but he's going to go down way too fast. He is not nearly tanky enough. He opted for the revolver right there, which I don't know about that. I mean, the sustain, it's good, but at this point in the game, it's pretty much teamfight central, and the sustain is not what you need after the lane phase. The lane phase is the one you need sustain in, and in teamfights, you need just raw damage, raw stats, raw tankiness, things like that. And Swain is going for pretty much flat AP right now. He's trying to get that Rod of Ages, but the game might be out of hand by the time he actually finishes that stacking item. An investment item in a game where you're already losing really hard this early is probably not the best bet. I think we should have kind of veered from that path, probably even sold it, to be honest, unless they can hold up this game much longer. But all mid, all modes has such control right now, 16-4 in kills currently. Their 280 carry comp right now is so good for them. And the engages from Ghost Freak have been on corners, but here's some over-aggression from Bear Canyon. This is what they don't need to do. Graves picks up the kill actually on Rengar. There's the engage underneath the turret from Ghost Freak. I don't know if they will be able to get the damage on Ayo. Snoopy, he does, yep. Urgot picking up the kill. There's the ultimate from Azir pushing away the enemy team. There's the ultimate from Urgot, and he's actually in the back line. Ultimate from Draven as well, but Draven's going to go down underneath his own turret. Azir's going to go down as well. Leona was tanking the turret perfectly, walks out. Beautiful turret dives executed by all mid, all modes. And this is what I was talking about, is that Rod of Ages going to be worth it when you've got a dead inhibitor by the time you finish it, and he's still not going to be able to finish it because he went for that revolver. And, oh no, he might just go down right here. He pops his ultimate, but will it be enough? They're jumping in there, low health on Urgot. Urgot does go down. Swain just kept barely alive, but Graves should be able to kill him. Graves got dash forward there, but there we go. Gets the kill. He's going to try and kite off this Rengar, but he should go down. Rengar might go down. No, great job engaging on... Oh, no. Actually, the Rengar actually picks up the kill. I was going to say great job engaging on the Draven because it was the main damage dealer, but Rengar did more than enough to kill him. Rengar opting for kind of a hybrid build with that Brutalizer, and that is an ace for the Reapers right now. But really, they're not going to be able to do much with it, unfortunately. They're just going to be able to push the wave up and kind of save their inhibitor. Unfortunately, when you're this far behind in the game, even when you win a team fight like that, you can't take anything for it. And that's what all mid-haul modes has been doing this entire game, is after they win these big team fights, they're taking objectives for it. And normally, of course, I'd say that on Summoner's Rift, but Howling Abyss is really the same thing. Win the team fight, take the turret, you still have a Nexus, you still have an inhibitor. It's still technically kind of the same strategy on winning on Summoner's Rift, is you have to kill the turrets, you have to get the inhibitor, and then when you kill the inhibitor, then you can kill the Nexus. And that's how you end the game. So there's no, even though you're getting gold and kind of time of people dead, if you can't take any objectives while the enemy is dead, then you didn't gain that much from winning that team fight. And that's kind of the situation that the Reapers are in right now, is that was only kind of a defensive win, unfortunately. For them, they do have the Azir turret to kind of make shift, which is going to be really nice for them. Even though they have 2 dead turrets right now, they can just pop up Azir's passive and kind of play make-believe for the time being and see if they can hold up. But they might just get straight dove again by all mid, all modes. All mid, all modes has been just on point with their turret dives all game long. And we'll see if they wait for the next wave or decide to just go ham. They're doing a really good job of just poking right now, which is what they did beginning of the game. It's just poke, 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 and then engage once they're all at low HP, which seems to be the strategy currently. The HP of the Azir turret is slowly dwindling down, and it will be down here very shortly, and as you can see, the Reaper is backing off, knowing that it's right about to fall there. So they played house as long as they could there with their fake Azir turret, but they're going to have to defend an inhibitor right now, and they don't have a turret to defend this. Let's see if they decide to fight, or if they decide to just kind of let them have this inhibitor and wait later. There's the engage from Leona, going straight in, takes a turret shot, but I think that was an engage just to kind of zone and get that inhibitor down for free. Rare Candy doing some zoning of his own. Graves gets some damage there, and that's going to be a downed inhibitor. All mid, all modes. First inhibitor of the game, and his super minions will slowly be taking the map right now. So they just need to wait. I was going to say they just need to wait and stall, but they are not having any of that. Double kill from Rare Candy so far. Let's see if we get the triple. There's the jump from, or not Renekton, but from Rengar. Oh, he does get the kill. Oh no, unfortunately it's only going to be a triple. I was really hoping we'd have a reset cleanup, Rare Candy, Kha'Zix party, jumping around, have a happy little bug. But that is going to be another clean sweep ace for all mid, all modes, and they should be able to end the game here. The death timers are ridiculously low for the Reapers, but it's still, I don't think, is going to be enough with 280 carries right now. Let's see if they focus the champions. They are! They're focusing the champions! Leona actually takes the laser from the turret. They could have ended the game. No, they're going to back off and end the game right here. Oh, Nocturne ults Rare Candy. Let's see if they can do it. Actually, Graves is going to 1v1 Nocturne. They should just be going straight for the Nexus right now. And Urgot's 1v1ing Rengar in the back. He'll be able to kill him and then take down the Nexus. And that is going to be all mid, all modes, moving on to the grand finals of our ARAM tournament for today. So great play from both teams, but all mid, all modes were just absolute monsters in that game, showing that all mid, all modes is their team name for a reason. Really good play coming out from them, but the Reapers are not going home empty-handed. They'll play in our third place game, and if they win, they'll go home with 1600 RP per player, but even if they lose, they're still guaranteed 800 RP, and by winning, all mid, all modes are guaranteed at least 2400 RP per player, and if they win in the grand finals, 3200 RP plus a Triumphant Rise skin per player. So congratulations to both teams, even though unfortunately Reapers lost. All mid, all modes, moving on to the finals, and we'll be on with the next game very shortly, moving on to the next lobby. My name is Streetbull. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be right back.
When your name reminds me, those days when things were new, those days when I had you. Oh, take my hand and remind me what we used to believe and dream to be. Oh, take my hand now and find it. We are the dream. Breathe me into the light. Slowly heal the darkness in my heart. I hear you now. A taste was all I needed. I feel your love, loud and clear to the end. I'll follow you to the end. It's you and me. I'll follow you to the end. I'll follow you to the end. To the end. Follow you to the end. To the
Can't try to forget that you were here. Some part of me wants to disappear with you. My soul and all that I could afford. So only gonna fall into what you've explored.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our grand finals of the Random Championship Series Open Division ARAM tournament for today, Thursday, February the 12th. My name is Streetbull and I'm casting solo, as you guys all know tonight. And the two teams we have in our grand finals, on the blue side we have Oh Baby and the Triples. Once again, apologies for the name mix-up in the first game, excuse me. And on the purple side, all mid, all modes, the perennial absolute monsters in this game. And it looks like they've got a couple 80 carries on their team again there with the Varus as well as the Callista going for them. Morgana, Kale, and Kha'Zix, not too shabby a setup there. But on the opposite side, on Baby and the Triples, or Oh Baby and the Triples rather, they've got a Heimerdingers, so setting up those turrets. They've got the spears from the Nidalee as well as the heals. And they've got a bunch of fighters in Warwick, Lee Sin, as well as Aatrox. So definitely the better team comp going out to all mid, all modes. But let's see if they can make use of it here. Oh Baby and the Triples kind of needs to, I say this every time, usually there's one team that's going to be better in lane, and one team that's going to have to wait until more of a team fight phase, once until they get closer to level 6 or after level 6. Before they can really kind of make a difference in the game. And I feel like all mid, all modes could potentially just rush down the game like they have, as we've seen them do in the past when they have a strong early comp like they do for this map. They've got 280 carries to make things happen. And one of the cool things too is because with Callista, of course, normally you're just in like a 2v2 lane, so usually you tether with your support. But in this setup, he could actually possibly tether with Kha'Zix if he wants to, providing Kha'Zix an escape route if Kha'Zix wants to jump in, maybe doesn't get the kill, doesn't get the reset to jump out or something like that. Maybe he ults, Callista ults and pulls Kha'Zix back to him, something like that. Who knows, maybe he will just go with the Morg and stick with the standard, like, oh, well, you're a support, so I'm going to tether with you type of thing. But you never know what you could do. A bunch of cool things could come out from that Callista right there, and I'm pretty sure Rare Candy is a pretty decent 80 carry if I remember correctly. So we'll see how his Callista is. Pretty sure it's strong if I remember properly, but can never really underestimate the power of a Nidalee, and I'm sure they're going to turn that into an AP Nidalee on a ARAM map. Now, it's not the same as the old Nidalee. The old Nidalee used to be pretty much like whichever team has Nidalee is going to win the game, pretty much. Where now Nidalee's spears don't have the same effect. She's not as game-breaking with those spears, but still can do a lot of damage and can be really annoying with those heals and traps and spears from a distance, able to run away and just keep chucking projectiles at you, which is super annoying on a very skinny map like Howling Abyss. And then of course you've got that Heimerdinger who can just set up turrets and be super annoying, can make it so that you can't really jump on him. If he sets up a nice little kind of home base in turrets, as I like to kind of call it, you don't want to overextend with your turrets. You want to set them up so if your enemy dives you, then they'll have to jump into your kind of turret field, and then once he gets level 6, he'll be able to throw down that ultimate turret as well, which is going to be really strong in case they do get jumped on by a Kha'Zix or someone, or Kale ults Kha'Zix or something like that. They have the side of all mid, all modes has a pretty darn good comp to jump in there, and it's going to be up to the disengage from Lee Sin and Nidalee and Heimer with his turrets and things like that probably. We'll see if Warwick can get a nice ult off on possibly the Varus or Callista, depending on who's going to be the real threat. But I feel like all mid, all modes has a much better team comp, unfortunately, for Oh Baby and the Triples. And like I mentioned before, this is our grand finals. We are the Random Championship Series. If you're interested in our tournaments and things like that, please check us out on our website, randomcs.com. That's www.randomcs.com. We're also on Facebook, ari.cs, facebook.com/ari.cs, on Twitter, @esportsrcs, and of course, if you're watching this right now, you're on twitch.tv/randomchampionship-series, so please give us a follow there. Just scroll down a bit on the bottom left-hand side, you see that purple follow button. We'd really appreciate it. Also, if you're on Twitter, give us a follow on there. On Facebook, give us a like, things like that. ari.cs, once again, on Twitter, esportsrcs, twitch.tv/randomchampionship-series. And we are doing a Valentine's Day 1v1 tournament tomorrow. It's starting at the same time as this tournament did, which was 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. So please show up for that. Even if you're not playing in it, we'd really love to see you out there, and we can kind of just watch it together and have a good old-fashioned Valentine's Day together with everybody playing League and all that good stuff. Let me switch up the team names here, because the blue side is actually Oh Baby and the Triples, and the purple side is actually now all mid, all modes, where before they were on the opposite sides. So let's swap this. I know someone was saying something about this in chat, so let's get these names lined up a little bit more. We'll get Oh Baby and the Triples going over there. Hopefully that's a little bit more lined up if if there needs to be some adjustments. Unfortunately, I won't see because I don't have enough space on my screens when I'm streaming and have all my notes and stuff like that up to also have the Twitch chat up, unfortunately. So sorry guys, but hopefully that's decent there. Yeah, it looks alright. Let me move that a little bit more before we get into there, just to make it look all pretty for everybody. Edit the screen, we got this over there. Let's do that, and we'll do a little bit of that over there. looks a little bit nicer right there now. But this is our grand finals, like I mentioned. The top prize is 3,200 RP per player, plus of course a Triumphant Rise skin per player at the top of that as well. So very nice grand prize here. And even if you lose this game, you're not going home empty-handed. You're getting 2,400 RP per player for the second place team. So whoever loses is still going to be pretty darn happy with what they've accomplished and what they're going home with. Going to spend that on some nice fancy new skins over kind of maybe if they don't have anyone on Valentine's Day, use kind of soothe their woes, dry their tears with some new skins, something like that. But unfortunately, I have no RP to soothe my Valentine's Day woes with. Kha'Zix shooting some missiles into his own team right there. Definite bush control here for all mid, all modes, and begin the spears for Nidalee. And Varus is kind of trying to play that same game, and Kha'Zix is doing the same thing with the missiles. Basically, they're just trying to poke as much as possible. Roast Pigeon just trying to stack his tier right now. 3 tiers for the side of all mid, all modes, and 3 chalices for the side of Oh Baby and the triples, which is kind of interesting considering there's only 2 AP champions on the side of all mid, all modes. It's really only Kayle and Morgana that are doing real AP damage there, and Kayle is kind of hybrid, and Morgana is opting for the support in, I always forget what this is called. It upgrades to the Spell Thief's Edge. It upgrades to the Ice Queen's Claim, which is what I always accidentally call it. The Spell Thief's Edge there, so she is going to kind of try and stick with that support role almost, which I don't mind at all. That's what I like to do when I play Morgana. I'm not big on the AP Morgana, even though it works out decently in Summoner's Rift and things like that. But I like using Morgana as kind of just like a snare bot almost. Just kind of being really annoying, just constantly throwing out those snares, making it so the enemy team has to always be aware, always be on their toes, always moving and juking, or else the snare is just coming out every day. And here comes another snare from Morgana. There it is, point blank snare. She just wants to jump right into Nidalee. And I like how she put the pool right behind Nidalee. She put it so that Nidalee was standing in it where she was snared, but so that when Nidalee was running away, she'd have to run through pretty much the full pool to get out. So probably 2 or 3 extra ticks there from her little pool. So really smart play there by Gross Pigeon. Really smart Morgana play. I'll have to start doing that. I've never thought to do that before with my Morgana pools. I usually just throw it, like, if it's touching them, good enough. But putting it, if you are in close enough range, putting it so they're just touching it, and when they run away, they have to run through it to get away. That's very smart for the extra couple ticks. Any sort of advantage is something you always want to take. Any small bit will help and kind of pay dividends for later. There's the snare again. So much damage coming onto them, and that's what they're going to try and work with here, is just snare, train damage on top of the snared target. And Nidalee is really trying to do her best to just keep chucking spears right now, but she's not hitting the ones that she needs to. The trade damage coming out, Varus getting a nice Q poke in, and Heimer is super low on HP. He needs to set up his turrets a little bit more defensively, I feel. I think they're a little bit too offensive, because right now there's none on the map, and that's not what you like to see. You want to see Heimer doing turrets all over the map. He gets snared, actually, the pool not in range, unfortunately, but Varus doesn't care. He picks it up with the Q, and that is going to be a dead Heimerdinger. First blood going over to all mid, all modes, with a nice snipe from the Archer. A little bit of unnecessary turret damage, unfortunately, is what is a wolf, but he doesn't care. He's living the dream right now. He's got that nice 1 kill, and we see this reasonable map. Now that I've casted more of these ARAM tournaments, you'll see AD carries, these caster-focused AD carries, start with a tier. Just because it'll allow you to spam poke the entire kind of early in this game, and it'll stack up nicely for later as well. It will allow you to just basically never run into mana problems pretty much the entire game, while really not hindering you that much. So I quite like that start. It seems to be kind of standard for the ARAM AD carry if you are a caster AD carry. It's going to tier, longsword, and then a bunch of pots. Kalista opting to go for the Vamp Scepter, because she's just more content just to kind of sustain up and just kind of scale up for a little bit later. She did opt to actually synergize, or link, whatever you want to call it, with Gross Pigeon now on Morgana, so opting for the traditional kind of support AD carry link there, instead of going for anything crazy like Kha'Zix or Kayle or who knows, but sticking with his little buddy Morgana there, which is really good still, because of course Morgana's ultimate can synergize with that as well. Let's see if they kill. No, they do not pop the Aatrox passive, still barely alive. Rare Candy getting a little bit of spear damage on him. But Ruby Cross is going to be in a tricky little situation, because he's going to get his passive popped pretty darn soon here, as soon as anybody really touches him. See if Varus can snipe him with a Q or something like that. Nidalee trying to throw some spears from the bushes, which is a good idea. You want to try and throw your spears from a place where they can't see you, so they have less time to dodge. Just to be very careful right now. He's going to grab this turret and then jump right on top of them. Oh, nice spear landing onto Kale. Kale getting chunked a bit, but it's really not that much right now because Nidalee, of course, picked up the Chalice, which is the right thing to do so you have mana regen. I probably would have rather gone with a Tear because there's not much AP on the enemy team. But the right thing to do is go for the mana regen so you can continually chuck the spears and heal your team rather than going for the damage. The spears aren't going to have the same effect, but at least you'll constantly be able to throw them. Where if you went for damage, sure, one of the spears, if you do hit, might chunk them, but you're probably only going to get only a few spears to actually throw. And the passive actually still not popped by Ruby Cross. His little rage bar, whatever you want to call it there, his red bar, is ticking down a bit, so it's not going to have the same kind of regen once his passive is popped as he would have before when it was full. And it's possible that all mid, all modes is kind of playing off of that. They're like, we don't want to pop it yet. We want to wait until we can actually kill him after his passive is popped. Which is the situation he's in right now. His little rage bar is pretty darn low, and he will not regen that much HP once his passive is popped. Good poke by the Kha'Zix right there. And he did opt to level up his missiles first, as I was saying before. Very Candy pops the barrier. Doesn't even have to flash. There's the chains coming out from Varus and Morgana ultimate as well. And they're going to lock down Warwick as well as Lee Sin. There's the Kale ultimate onto Morgana actually. And nobody goes down for that trade. Wow, trades of damage overall, but no trades of kills there. More upgraded missiles from Kha'Zix. Oh, and there's the passive pop as well as a snare onto Heimerdinger. Aatrox needs to be careful. Jumps away. Whoa, the Kale Q does not do enough damage. And they're going to be safe for right now. But just being absolutely bullied is Oh Baby in the triples. All mid, all modes, just absolute monsters right now. Their comp is really good yet again. They need to be super careful. They're jumping in here, trading off. There's the ultimate from Warwick, right onto Eric 85. He gets away. Aatrox goes down, no passive this time. Rare Candy flashing away. Varus gets the double kill. Another kill coming in from Kale. Rare Candy picking up the kill this time. And it's a 4-0 for all mid, all modes as they continue to push down. They've got about 4 or 5 minions here. Let's see if they can get this turret. The minions actually stopped just out of turret range. That's actually really good for them. Now they're pushing in now that they've killed the enemy minions there. Let's see if they can grab this turret before going down. Oh, the spear actually hits a minion, protecting Kha'Zix right there, else he would have been chunked a bit. But Nidalee, the only one left alive for his team, sitting there still sitting on that chalice, and her spears are really not doing that much. Oh wow, there's the shutdown. Aatrox getting a nice kill onto the most juicy player for all mid, all modes, which is of course that Varus with the 3 kills. Let's see if they can do this. The exhaust going on to Lee Sin, try and stay alive. Morgana does not have the movement speed she needs. Kha'Zix trying to kite back with that black shield, but this could be a clean ace for Oh Baby and the triples, and yes, it will be. You know, Varus actually spawned just in time to make it not an ace, but pretty much kind of an unofficial ace there for the side of Oh Baby and the triples. But once again, as I mentioned in the game before, I don't know what they can take out of this. They're going to try and get this execute going, but good Q by Varus. Oh, there's the ultimate actually locking them all down here. He's trying to delay them as long as possible, charging up the Q, gets the poke. Heimerdinger on super low HP. Let's see if they can get this turnaround. And they just keep trading back and forth. They only get the turret down to a little under half HP, which is not bad. I'm actually surprised at how much they were able to chunk that turret. But they're so far behind right now, it's unfortunately not enough. And Callista is just going to be passive heading, dancing all over the place. There's the black shield actually, eats the Lee Sin Q, but she doesn't care. She's got that black shield. She's not afraid of anything right now. Varus trying to just poke down those minions, and they have an open inhibitor to try and take it. Nidalee still hasn't died. I was going to say still hasn't back, but she hasn't died in order to be able to buy actual another item. So that's good that she did opt for the chalice, because it'll be the most effective mana regen for her at this point. Lee Sin goes in. He's going to go down here. He kicks forward Varus. Varus gets ulted by Kale, and that's exactly what I was going to say, is you don't want to try and make those plays because they have a Kale to just ult whoever he decides to kick back. You can't make those plays, unfortunately, when someone has an invincibility ultimate, pretty much. Where you can say, oh, you want to kill this guy? Well, I'm just going to press R on him, and you can't touch him for the next, 3 seconds or 2 seconds? Or let me just check over here real quick. It is 2 seconds. And that is a beautiful Kale ultimate onto their, like I mentioned before, the juiciest member of their team, the strongest member right now, which was that Varus. And Varus is still alive, trying to kite back for his life. Warwick getting a bit of slow damage. There's the spear. They end up dodging it. Oh, and actually the Aatrox Q actually misses them as well. Little mini hop coming from Kha'Zix because he opted to level up his missiles. And let's see if they decide to turn. No, they're just going to try and clear waves right now. Nidalee, to be honest, I think should just kill herself so she has more items, so she can get back and get items, and if those spears actually do work. Because that's one of the things that I suffer from, is like, especially when because that's not my style. I love that Nidalee style of you just sit in the back and just throw spears. But the problem is it's so safe and you're so able to just not die forever that sometimes, especially in a situation where you can only buy items after you die, like in an ARAM map, it's actually better to just kill yourself after a certain point and then go buy those items and then try and make a play on the map. Because right now I feel like she's really not making a difference whatsoever. She's got low health, low mana, and her spears don't do any damage, unfortunately. All she's doing is, look at that, it did no damage, and Callista has absolutely no defensive items. That should do way more damage, but it's because she has no actual AP items. She's sitting on the magic resistance and mana regen from that chalice, and that might be a dead Warwick. One more auto attack. No, two more auto attack from the safeguard. There we go. Lee Sin trying to save his little wolf buddy right there. Warwick actually had a heal and a flash right there. I'm not to use either. I think he might have wanted to die to buy some items, possibly finish the random own right there, but Ruby Cross is going to go down. This could spell the end for the side of Oh Baby and the triples, all mid, all modes, just absolute monsters, just demons on this map. They are so strong. There's the ultimate Heimer turret, but it is not going to be much. Gets snared by Morgana sitting in the pool. And there's an ace, and Warwick spawns just right after, and that just kind of shows you how well all mid, all modes have played this game. If they can end it in just over 10 minutes, they played it so well. Finally, Nidalee gets some items, but she's not going to spawn, I don't think, before this game ends. They're kind of just going straight for champions, actually letting the minions just go after the Nexus, and that will be the game for all mid, all modes. They are going to be our champions for tonight in our ARAM tournament. Congratulations to all the teams that entered. Oh Baby and the triples, of course, like I mentioned before, not going home empty-handed. They will go home with 2,400 RP per player, so congratulations to them. And our champions, all mid, all modes, 3,200 RP and a Triumphant Rise skin apiece. Congratulations to them. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening and playing and participating, all that wonderful stuff. Like I mentioned before, we're having a Valentine's Day 1v1 tournament tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, so come out and watch that on this Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Random Championship Series. We are the Random Championship Series, like I just said. Our website is randomcs.com, randomcs.com. Our Facebook is re.cs. Our Twitter is @esportsrcs. And my name is Streeple. You can find me on Twitter @Streeple, the word street, the word bowl. And then I'm also on YouTube, youtube.com/Streeple as well. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching and playing, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night for our ARAM tournament. I'm not casting in it, but I'll be playing it. It'll be casted by Ashlyn Rose and Morning Bacon, a great casting duo, so we're going to have tons of fun with them. Please show up. Once again, 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
the ocean waves and try to come to life.